What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 16th of July, and here we are, 21 hours, 42 minutes left in the day, looking at the Bitcoin chart. Just to illustrate, we're going to go over some big stuff that's coming our way for XRP with this chart. First and foremost, you've been outperforming Bitcoin now virtually every single day since July 6th. So for the last couple weeks, or I guess that'd be like a week and a half, you've been outperforming Bitcoin. Even with these big wicks to the upside, you're still outperforming Bitcoin. And you're looking very, very good doing it. Getting overbought as hell. You're pretty damn overbought. So at this point in time, you probably underperform Bitcoin, right? Typically, and not always, but typically when you underperform Bitcoin, it's because Bitcoin's moving down and you're moving down faster, okay? When Bitcoin's moving up and XRP are moving up, XRP tends to, not always, but tends to move up faster, okay? So just understand that. I doubt in this very bullish environment that we're in right now, if XRP and Bitcoin are moving up at the same time, that we would see this chart come down, right? Likely what this means is they're both moving down, but XRP is just moving down faster. Bitcoin moves down 2%, XRP moves down 4%, you get me? But you've been overbought. So probably a little correction is on the way. So you're in like a consolidated phase right now, right? You had a very nice consolidation area here, broke out, and now if you look, I mean, really, you're kind of in this area where you've been consolidating, even though step by step you are moving up daily, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you came down, found some resistance down there, or some support down there, I should say, and all this means is that likely Bitcoin and XRP will move down together. Again, just XRP moves down a little bit faster, right? Something like that. Then once you get out of the overbought zone, you'll continue to run. XRP, whenever it gets overbought versus Bitcoin, it doesn't stop there, right? Here you got overbought. Was that the end of it? No, you kept going. Here you're overbought. Is this the end of it? No, you're probably going to keep going. Here you got overbought. Was that the end of it? No, you consolidated. And when you consolidated, understand this doesn't mean huge correction. You can move sideways, and that's probably what you're going to do, XRP. You're just going to move sideways. What, for like 4 or 5 days over the week? The next week should be a week that we are ripping and running. I doubt that we continue running this week. So, I mean, you're already at a 91 read on the RSI. Not that you can't go higher, but I'm just saying I doubt that we keep running this week. This isn't solely what I wanted to talk about on the daily time frame. I actually wanted to look at the weekly time frame, and that was a huge stutter. I don't know what that was about there. It's like it's like a freaking dolphin. The weekly time frame is very interesting. Okay, I know a lot of people are focused on XRP breaking out to new all-time highs, but they should focus on this, right? This I don't see this being talked about enough. XRP, if my computer would load, I don't know why it's being so slow. I've got it on high performance. We can all hear the whirring, whatever it is. It's been in this consolidation phase, essentially below this level here, or below this level here. However you want to phrase it, something, you know, below this zone. Been held down by this whole zone for years, since 2019 in August. Okay, it's almost August now, 6 years later. You've been held down by this for years, you guys, and so have you been held down in the U.S. dollar chart as well. You've been consolidating for multiple years as well. But this, man, you are about to break out of this. What's going to happen? Like, where are you going to go? 6 years of consolidation, you're going to be ripping and running all the way up probably to at least this area where you found resistance here. Come on now, right there. If not, something that's a little bit higher or even higher than that. Will XRP see new all-time highs versus Bitcoin? I don't know, but this is something that everybody should be talking about. Because when people compare Bitcoin, whenever people compare Bitcoin to the rest of the market in crypto, they say Bitcoin has outperformed everything this cycle, and it has. Well, and maybe not everything, but a good bit of coins this cycle it has outperformed. This is a telltale sign that XRP is about to make Bitcoin its little baby. You know what I mean? XRP is gonna take over the position of daddy very, very soon, and it's going to lead the market along with some other coins probably. Right? This is a very big deal, very, very big deal, you guys. You've got a double bottom here. Okay, it's like a triple bottom to some degree, but a nice low here, low there, double bottom. You're consolidating in this area where you normally get up and reject. You get up and you reject. You get up and you get down, up and then down. But here you're doing a little dance, and you're probably going to break through. And it looks like you're breaking out right now of this consolidation phase. So this is a big deal. And the weekly RSI is not anywhere near getting overbought. This implies that not just over the coming days, not just over the coming weeks, but over the coming months, XRP is going to perform in a very spectacular way. So just understand, this chart, it's not saying anything yet, but it's, or maybe what it's saying, I should say, is, what it's saying, I should say, is that soon enough, XRP will be doing something that is absolutely spectacular. And that's what we're expecting. XRP USD, whenever we look at it here, go to the crypto chart. Waiting. Waiting. We're waiting. So very patiently waiting. Okay. We're about to break out of this multi-cycle consolidation phase too. When I say something spectacular is coming for XRP, this was pretty damn spectacular. November 4th here to January, whatever, January 13th, that week, whatever. That's pretty spectacular. A 6.8x move in a couple months, in a few months. That's pretty spectacular, okay? But what I'm expecting is something that's even bigger than this. I assume that XRP will, if my computer will break out, not just to new all-time highs, but to levels that are above what we saw back here. I think the next move will be even more glorious. Why? For one, you're a crypto in the United States crypto reserve now, right? You're strategic crypto reserve status with XRP, okay? Implemented with banks and all that stuff. A lot of cryptos are anti-banks, but this is pro-banks that sets it apart, and it's the first one to do it. It's got the right space, right niche in the space, I think, to do it. Whenever it comes to institutional cycle, banks and institutions are getting involved. Who's going to help onboard them besides MicroStrategy, right? You got XRP. I don't know. I'm just running with the narrative here, okay? And there's a lot of other stuff beyond that going on with XRP too. They're building, they're developing a lot of different things, but especially whenever it comes to stable coins and their ledger, they've got some big players invested. Anyways, guys, Anyways, not only do we have the Bitcoin chart, but you've got this multi-cycle consolidation phase that you're breaking out of as well, okay? And you didn't have, and you have the crypto reserve status, right? That's three things. You didn't have any of that back here. Maybe you had the thought of all these things back here, and that was part of the hype. But the thought, I'm assuming, that most people have for XRP is this was a one-off, and that it will not see the same move, let alone a move that's bigger. But they don't look at the Bitcoin chart, right? They don't take into consideration that you're in a multi-cycle consolidation phase. So when you break that, you're going to see a magnitude, a move that is a whole different magnitude in itself compared to this move. I think it's going to be a lot larger. And when I say a lot larger, I shouldn't say a lot larger, just a little bit larger, right? Here, from a low to a high, that puts you at just below $11. I think that we're going to stop somewhere around $15 to $16, if not at least $13 to $14, right? Somewhere in that area there. And that is what I would call a spectacular move, okay? This is what I would not call a spectacular move. We take a high to a low of the overall range. The minimum target is $8.37. The minimum target is below the measure move of this bull flag that you've been in for over half a year now, right? And you're breaking out now. Hitting the minimum fib target, which is below your measure move of this bullish pattern, hitting the minimum target of this multi-cycle consolidation phase, that's not a spectacular move. It's going to be great. XRP at $8.37, that is spectacular, but that's not a spectacular move, right? That's not what I mean. At least here, at least 1356 or more. That's spectacular. Something that's larger than anything you've seen in years. That's spectacular. That's what's coming your way. And it's going to happen between now and the end of August. Okay? Bitcoin is presumed to top off, well, I mean, the end of the cycle is probably going to be sometime in 2026, early 2026 is the narrative that I'm running with now. But XRP will probably top off in this area sometime in August, alongside with Bitcoin. I think we'll have our next consolidation area around August. August, going into September, we'll consolidate. Then October, Bitcoin's birthday. It'll be Uptober, Bulltober, right? Going into the end of the year, probably. We might have a little bit of consolidation. It'll be a fake out for the bears, for the bulls, making people think that it's the beginning of the bear market. And then we have that one last rally going into Q2, I would think. That's when we're going to top off the market. So we've got a few pumps and consolidation phases to go. Inevitably, guys, I believe XRP will see prices all the way up at $67 to $100. Yes, I really do believe we could see $100 XRP by the end of the cycle. Yes, that would mean it's well over $1 trillion in market cap. I understand that. But $67 at a minimum is what I'm thinking you'll see by the end of the cycle. And it's because you're doing things, groundbreaking things, beyond on a fundamental level in the real world. You're doing groundbreaking things here on the charts. You got a lot of pent-up aggression. You're going to let loose the goose, okay? I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said everything I need to say. We could talk about the short-term stuff real quick, because I know a lot of you guys like it whenever I talk about the short-term stuff, right? That's what you're really here for. But the pep rally is always appreciated too. I know people do appreciate that as well. You know, it's kind of funny. XRP looks a lot like XCN right now with this consolidation phase. Think about consolidation phases, okay? Think about them like this always. Think about them like this always. It's not a guarantee, but there's a reason why if you're looking here, Elliott wave, correction wave, there's a reason why it's an A, B, C pattern. There's only 3 legs in a consolidation phase, and there's not 2, there's not 4, there's 3. And if we're looking at this here, if it'll let me, it looks like you've got 1 move down, a corrective phase, and you've got 1 more move to go. How low will you go? And this is not a big move. We're on the 1 hour time frame. We're not talking about anything big. Okay, nothing too crazy. If we take this from I would say a high here to a low here, okay, and then we put that right there with that high there, I would assume this low will come in at about $2.73. And I've seen I've done this for a couple different cryptos today. They've overshot those measurements. I bet XRP overshoots its measurement, right? We take the same kind of idea to the upside, right? Low here to this high right here, and you put that at the low of that move. Notice how you went basically right to that area, but you overshot it a little bit. So I would bet that we overshoot it to the downside. 272, maybe we go down to about 260. Like 268. Probably not 260, sorry. 267 to 268, 269. 270, somewhere in that area. That's where I think we're going to go. If we line up, we take a low here. Man, it is being glitchy. I might have to restart the computer after this. Low to high. Wow, really, really glitchy. 1272 to the 1618. That's the intended target area almost always. Could you go to your 1886-200? Sure, but 267 at the low end, 268, right? 272, 277. You're at 289 now. Lower. I anticipate you go lower. 1 hour time frame looks like you want to go lower. On the RSI, 4 hour RSI looks like you want to go lower. Lower. It's not a big deal. And then higher. Soon enough, higher. A lot higher. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.